The Sun's exclusive this morning. So, without any photographic evidence at all, on the front of The Sun. So that is just an explanation of the fact that these pictures are not Kate outdoors over the weekend.
It's a farm shop.
But that's a photograph of a farm shop, and that is a photograph of Kate.
But not in the farm shop.
Back in autumn. So, the Princess of Wales has been spotted out and about for the first time since her abdominal surgery. She went on a weekend visit to a farm shop and to see her 3 children play sports. And The Sun says it puts an end to wild speculation about her health. An onlooker in Windsor said Kate was out shopping with William and she looked happy and well. No photographs. Does this put an end to speculation?
It's never going to stop.
Or has this got so wildly out of control now, Andrew?
Well, I thought the most significant thing of the weekend was the suggestion that at some point soon, when she is out and about in public, and I think it's very encouraging that she's out with her husband yesterday, and she was watching her kids doing sport at the weekend too, and I suspect there will be a photograph will emerge because somebody will have one on their mobile phone.
Although Kensington Palace have said, please leave her to get on with her recovery.
I still think
so
that
if
might
you
happen.
were one of the members of public, you might very well, and within your rights, think, and within her rights, I'm not going to take a photograph of her. That would be very intrusive.
And she would prefer it that way.
Exactly.
But there is a suggestion that when she does return to public duties, and I think we can expect that, I'm not going to say soon, but the suggestion had been after Easter, she may even talk about, in some form, what she's been going through, because that would all be about openness and transparency. She's wanted people to talk about mental health, for instance, when she's fronted mental health charities. So perhaps she might give us some details about the medical battle she's been going through. Because, Kevin, you're scoffing.
No, I'm just saying a woman's gone to a shop. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Kevin, you're scoffing. People love this woman and they want to know that she's OK and getting better, and I think people will be cheered by it.
But woman goes to the shop, it proves nothing.
So the Daily Mirror would never put such a story on the front page?
It would have put it on 9 pages.
My colleagues probably would have, yes. But there'll be people watching now who will have cancer, being treated for cancer. They'll have serious heart complaints, other medical conditions. They won't be well, but they will go out today and they will go to shops, they'll go to cafes, they might even drop the kids off school, pick them up later. It won't say they are well. I mean, look, because people get on with their lives even when they are unwell. Now, I'm not saying she's got any of that, and I'm not saying it's really serious, but I just think woman goes to shop.
There is a
that's where we're at.
At the weekend. Roya Nicker, who's coming in actually to talk to us this morning, very well connected,
she is.
Very well sourced. She is the royal editor of the Sunday Times, which is a post you only hold when you have excellent connections. And she reported that sources close to the Princess of Wales say that she will probably talk about her recovery when she resumes engagements in a month's time. She says that the source, who has known William and Kate since their days as a young couple, says William wants to protect his family from the madness of media and the public should leave her to recover in peace. And also that when they said she'd be back after Easter, that's not after Easter, actual Easter Sunday, which is very early this year. It's actually after the end of the Easter holidays, which I think is mid-April. So don't expect her to come back after Easter Monday.
But I mean, I think that is a positive sign that her health is moving in the right direction.
But it's also a sign that when she does come back, she's going to talk about it in a way which is going to just mean that everybody else can stop speculating.
Absolutely right.
Because it would
put an end to it.
Roya Nicker is very well connected and she's very measured.
Yes.
And I think many people will happily talk about what happened to them when it's behind them.
Yes.
Because you've recovered and it's a lot easier. If you're on that road to recovery, you may not want to talk about it then. But you're right, there are all sorts of rumours swirling around Whitehall and Westminster. It's not just on the wilder reaches of the internet.
It's because it came from nowhere. Suddenly, we hadn't seen her since Christmas Day, and then suddenly we discovered she's been in hospital for invasive surgery.
There was one thing reported over the weekend. But I personally think this, if this is true, I think it's like a great thumbs up for Kate. There's a photo which was released for our late Queen's birthday, of her with all her grandchildren. A suggestion from experts that that this was a Photoshop picture. When you look at that picture, the idea that you could get all of those grandchildren looking at the camera and smiling at the same time, it's got to be Photoshopped. It never happens in the real world. And if Kate pulled that off, I would say, good job. Because that is actually a great piece of Photoshoppery.
There was a case of the old Duke of Edinburgh, Philip, snapping at a photographer, "Oh, just get on with it. Take the picture." Because it was just the adult royals all lined up, and of course trying to get them all to look at the lens and all smile and all be right. You know, to do it with adults is hard enough. Never mind that,
This was a picture that was released last year on what would have been Her late Majesty's 97th birthday. And the words that accompany the photograph were, "This photograph, showing her with some of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, was taken at Balmoral last summer, back in 2022. It doesn't say it was taken where she was sitting there at exactly the same time as all of her grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And I think the thing is, you know, she had already died at that point. So this photograph was, you know, a composite photograph. And I just wonder whether this kind of going over everything in excruciating detail is actually a helpful thing, Kevin?
Well, they should have just called it a photo montage.
Yes, a
and
composite
just have
photograph.
done with it, and it would have looked rather nice that way. But it is whether look, it used to be said a photograph never lies. Now, of course, Stalin in the Soviet Union back in the 30s changed that, where he would blank out people he had bumped off. You know, Trotsky would disappear and so on. I'm not quite saying the royals have got to that degree, but if you're releasing photographs, they should really be accurate. And you say, here she is sitting with a...
Can I just point out, in the old days of the royalty, portraits would be done, which weren't photographs.
People always flattering.
Which were always flattering, exactly, and were probably tweaked. And little, you know, sort of and I still think inconvenient details would have been painted out.
I still think most people watching thinking it was just a family photo.
Yes. Do you know what? I feel like that is the view now. But go on TikTok and you'll find that's not what people think.
I think people just a family photo, nice mum and dad with their 3 kids, just trying to put out a nice family photo.
I don't believe Andrew. I mean, you know,
but it was a news photograph to show she was looking well. That was the point.
They weren't
just before she goes to the shops.
Advised well by the palace in all of this, in my view.
Have you ever had a photo taken of you where you've said afterwards, can you sort that out in post-production?
I haven't actually.
Perhaps I
should. Are you on Instagram?
No.
Oh, OK. There's a lot you can do in post-production on Instagram.
There's a lot can be done. I'm not saying you need it.
What do you mean with it? It's
experience.
Oh, totally. I'm like, what is that? They say, don't worry, we'll sort it out.
Yeah. So, already, viewer comments. Amy on Princess Catherine being seen in Windsor. This seems like a strange media update. I was less suspicious when they were staying at home and out of the public eye. Now I feel like they're addressing and trying to disprove the lies, and it feels uneasy. Masabanda has emailed in, this sighting of Kate with no pictures makes things worse. A lot of people have phones with cameras. It's strange nobody took a picture. Winston, eyewitness reports about Kate Middleton, but no pictures from the press at all. That doesn't sound suspicious at all. Something big definitely being hidden. Alan, nobody took a picture on their phone, ? Lemonade, photo, or it never happened.
There we are.
We're in a vortex here.
Chill, everybody.
I think you made the point, Susanna, that perhaps people knowing that they want some privacy, people didn't take photos. And the press, by the way, weren't there.
Would you... Well, as journalists, you probably would have taken a photograph.
I think I might have got... There might have been a bit of a set to if the Mail... They're trying to recover and a Mail picture, but Mail reporter then takes a picture of them while
you'd have immediately been asked not to use it, invading her privacy and all sorts of issues, excuse me, would come into play.
If you'd asked and they said yes...
Maybe somebody did take a photograph.
And they said, we'd rather not.
Yes, please don't do that.
Because their protection officers would have been with them, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.